Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you all for joining me at the Department of Corrections Community Supervision Albany Training Academy. I would now like to ask all to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Please be seated. This meeting will come to order. This is the April 2024 meeting of the New York State Board of Parole. The time is now 11:02 on April 5th.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This is the interpreter. Your audio is pausing.
Gotta be the Wi-Fi. Give me 1 second.
I'll now call the roll. Commissioner Krangle.
Present.
Commissioner Augustini. Commissioner Berliner.
Present.
Commissioner Drake. Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Corley. Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Mitchell.
Present.
Commissioner Enright. Commissioner McCabe. Commissioner Hinkin. Commissioners Coppola, Demosthenes, Samuels, and Segarra are excused. A quorum has been established for the purposes of conducting business. Also joining us are Board of Parole staff, Kathy Kiley, counsel.
Present.
Elliot McIntosh,
No.
Chelsea Visveri, Danielle Hilly,
Present.
Lorraine Morris, Gregory DiDonato. Moving on to the agenda, I would again like to ask you to join me this time for a moment of silence. Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge any members of the public joining us in person, along with those watching the live stream or who have taken the time out to watch the recorded version of this meeting. There are a number of, we have no public joining us here at the Training Academy. Just a reminder, in-person attendees, they were here, are only able to observe. Moving on, you all have received a copy of the September 25th Business Board meeting minutes. Please take a moment to review these minutes for accuracy. I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. Do I have a second? Second, Commissioner Berliner. It's moved and seconded that the September 25th business meeting minutes be adopted as presented. Is there any debate? Having heard none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Any abstentions? Okay. Abstaining, Davis and Lee. The ayes have it, the motion, and Hinkin. Ayes have it, the motion is carried. Moving on to old business. This time there's no old business to discuss, so we'll move on to new business. First item is the National Institute of Corrections. I think we've not had an opportunity to discuss it as a board, but we've had contact with the National Institute of Corrections. We've took a small delegation over to Connecticut and also participated in a conference in Colorado The main purpose that the National Institute of Corrections is looking at, they're trying to get states in order to adopt a structured decision-making framework, which we have been viewing. I think that there are some merits, and we will get a chance to discuss the actual framework at a later date, but wanted to at least share with you myself, Commissioner Augustini, Mitchell, and Berliner have been participating in these sessions. I think there is some merit. Basic framework would give us an opportunity, I think, to standardize our decisions and make our decisions more repeatable. I think that right now, the way that we make these decisions, there's a lot of room for objectivity or subjectivity. And I think that with the decision-making framework, it does create a more objective standard, whether things are aggravating or mitigating. I think that in our review, we find a consistency 100 times by creating these type of standards. To the commissioners that have been involved with this, you want to share a little bit about your thoughts in regard to the potential of the framework?
In Parole in Connecticut, their work with
Maybe the interpreter can hear you.
visiting the Board of Parole in the state of Connecticut, we were able to observe them, their work with the instrument. I believe the NYS helped develop in conjunction with the Board in Connecticut. And I thought that it was a very interesting opportunity for the state of New York. It's worthy of consideration. I'm glad that we will be considering what options can help us out with here.
Thought it was also interesting just to see how other states are handling parole, and there'll certainly be some more opportunities for visitation, especially to our neighboring states, looking to reach out to Pennsylvania and New Jersey to have an opportunity to visit and see what their practices are. We're really in a search for best practices as we update our protocols here. Also, we'll take the opportunity to have Connecticut come in and visit us to take a look at our practices as well. Commissioner Mitchell, Berlin.
I was going to add that I think a lot of the value in the structured decision-making form is the science behind it, and as much objectivity as we can put into the work is a good thing. It still allows for those where there's a little bit of subjectivity, which I think is, occasionally necessary in our work, but the opportunity to put as much science behind what we do as possible would be a good thing. And I thought it was a interesting experience seeing how Connecticut does their work and the MIC training and seeing how other states do their business. And I think the more New York can do toward additional implementation of your practices with science behind them, the better.
Anything you'd like to add from council perspective?
No, thank you, Chair.
Okay, great. Next, we'll move to the New York City revocation hearing locations. Just notifying you that they've changed. Hearings are still in Brooklyn at the county courthouse, but the Manhattan hearings have been moved to the Bronx. As well as a number of staff people, have gone down to visit the operation in the Bronx, where it is not optimum because there is some distance between Manhattan and the Bronx. It is a comfortable setting, and I think we have room for expansion. But We are in a crunch for space and continuing to work with OCA in order to find appropriate space for our hearings. We're looking at Queens and again, taking a look to see whether there might be appropriate space in Manhattan. But in the meantime, I do think that operations are going well. Trainings, Danielle, do you want to expand on?
I'm sorry,
no,
sir. Can
just,
you back up
just,
because you guys paused? I heard nothing just a moment ago after the moving to Manhattan possibly.
He paused there. So, I think he paused there. Can you hear me now? Okay. That was just the end of that statement. So just to mention, the board and the staff got gender identity training on March 18th, excuse me, of this year. And there are upcoming trainings in the works. We're looking to collaborate with experts in several fields to ensure that staff and board of parole commissioners have a better understanding of topics. So those are to come.
Can you hear me now? We'll move on to correspondence, announcements, and invitations. The one announcement. Yeah.
Point of reference, many significant things happened last year, which was
Can you speak up, Commissioner Mitchell?
not to mention the solar eclipse and the earthquake that took place last week. We also celebrate on the second Tuesday in April, very important event, and that's International Be Kind to Lawyers Day. And so I just wanted to acknowledge those lawyers and members of the legal profession who were with us.
So you gave us chocolate.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Absolutely.
We know.
Thank you. That's it. Okay. That's it. I think Commissioner Mitchell may have some case, and he's working his way through the attorneys. Just in the form of announcements, Commissioner Demosthenes has announced that she will be leaving the board this month. And we want to, in her absence, thank her for her service to this board. And we will have a later opportunity in order to thank her in person. We have some upcoming tours. And again, extend the invitation to commissioners to join for the 360 tour and the Edgecombe Correctional Facilities tour. If you're interested, please see Chelsea Visveri. Having concluded all scheduled business, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public portion of today's meeting. Commissioner Augustini, do I hear a second?
Second.
Did I hear a second? Okay, excellent. Been moved and seconded that we end our public portion and move into a executive session to conduct full case reviews and discuss litigation matters with our counsel. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Abstentions. Thank you very much. It's been moved and seconded that the board adjourn the public portion of today's meeting and enter into executive session. Public is adjourned.
So I'm finished and I leave now, correct? you want me to-
11/16.
Stay.
Nope, hold on a second, hold on.
I'm sorry.